Oh, yeah. It's podcast time. I'm like the poverty Howard Stern. Howard calls himself the king of all media. I am the poverty king of all media. That's actually very insulting to say about my friends at Q100. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast from the Impact Power Sports studio. Thank you for being here. Still working things out in the room. You know, I gotta make sure that the dogs can be seen. I see they're there, and you can see them. That's great. But we are in this adjustment stage, and the timing is not perfect yet. Today, I feel great. I feel like $1 million. And, but my God, Bob writes on the radio. Bob's talking about when I come back from commercial break, it'll say, he looks like a soccer coach for ISIS. The Eric Zane, the Insane Asylum with Eric Zane. Bob writes, "Da fuck?" Yeah, I wrote that. I was the one who came up with that. It's totally cool. You know, I'm trying to get some laughs with those. Those are called sweepers or liners or whatever the hell. Nick writes, for a fellow radio nerd, is there any way to show us your new radio equipment? Not quite yet, because it would jack everything up with the show. But all we're looking at, Nick, is an STL, a spectacular router, a brand new hard drive with all sorts of things on it, and a bunch of cords and cables. It's ugly. And the STL is the only thing that's... You're like, what the hell is an STL, Easy? Yeah, I know, but Nick and I are old radio guys, but gets the job done. From what I'm told, it's sounding okay. I haven't heard it. I hope it sounds good on your end. I played a bunch of music off of my iPad today, off Spotify. That was the first time I had done that. I even botched it. Johnny B from this audience was listening. He wanted to hear some Chevelle. And that was very, very difficult for me to play that song, because that band is shitty, okay? They're horrible. But I wanted to play it. It's not like I play my favorite songs, even though if I did play my favorite songs, it would be the greatest radio station in the world. But that's interesting for me. I have to go ahead and take the musical suggestion preferences from others into account, and so I was. You know, this one guy wanted to hear J.J. Cale, a live version of the Riverboat song. Now, J.J. Cale is very, very niche, and he wanted to hear a live version of a J.J. Cale song. And it was shitty. It was a complete disaster. But I played it, and I kept my opinions myself. And then I played Chevelle, Red. And in fact, I started playing the Chevelle song, and then I screwed up, and I accidentally on the iPad hit the J.J. Cale song. So it stopped the Chevelle song and started playing J.J. Cale. And then I went back and played the Chevelle song for Johnny B. And now don't ever stop requesting songs just because I don't like them, or because the bands you like are huge piles of shit like Chevelle. The way the radio station works is listeners program the radio station. It's a very, very unique thing. It is. It just doesn't happen that way. And I hope you're feeling that with what you hear on the show. Let me move these so that you all can see the dogs. So that's kind of how we do it. You know, it's definitely a request-heavy B-side, deep-cut radio station. Nick says Chevelle has some great songs, but the radio hit, is it The Red or Red? I don't know. He says is dog shit. That's like their most played song on Spotify. That's what I went with because I have not listened to 1 second of their music. And after hearing that pile of shit, I don't care if I ever hear another song by Chevelle ever again. They don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to making music because it's like they go, all right, let's roll a recording, sound as shitty as possible. That's how I feel about Chevelle. Patrick likes Chevelle. Justin is up north. Justin is one of our podcast listeners who, I've known him for years, but he lives up in the Northland where Q100 actually airs. So he's actually able to listen on the old school radio or the app. Thank you. I found out that the app is very well attended. There's been some complaints about the app, and they're being worked on right now. There's a little hum, like when there's silence, you can hear a hum. That's going to be taken care of, and also it doesn't update. So if you start listening, it doesn't tell you what song is playing. It tells you the first song when you log on, and then it stops. Bob says, can I get Queen Stone Cold Crazy tomorrow anytime after 7:30? Oh, I don't see why not. Let me write it down, and then if you don't hear it, remind me. There is a text line, which is, so program this into your phone, 231-237-4267. That's a great song, by the way, Stone Cold Crazy. Needs to be longer. I think Metallica redid it, too. At one point today, I played For Whom the Bell Tolls. I think at the start of the 7 o'clock hour, I played For Whom the Bell Tolls into some Iron Maiden song. And people were losing their minds over that. I didn't pick those. They just showed up on the log. Amy says, okay, that makes sense since with every song on the app that said Frank Zappa for me. Right, that's when you logged on during the Frank Zappa song. Started out rough today. The show starts, and I turn on my mic. Hey, here we go, day 2. Welcome to the Insane Asylum. Blah, 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 blah. Here's Blue Oyster Cult. And then I hit play on the computer, on the software. No sound. JJ's on the phone with me, and I turn my mic down so you can't hear my conversation with him, but it's dead air. He goes, okay, here. And he's making an adjustment after about a minute of dead air and puts something on the air. And we can't figure out why what was working yesterday is no longer working. And I just had a sneaking feeling that I had done something wrong. And I was absolutely correct in that. But he says, no, I don't think it's on your end, EZ. I think it's on my end. And I'm like, a little bit of time passes. Well, all this boring stuff that I was telling you about that comes through here to make the show possible, it comes through my control board. And it's a little thing that I've used since I started podcasting. It's temporary because I actually ordered a console, a legit radio console, which is coming. But this is fine for now. Well, what we're playing on the radio at that point is coming through my little console. And it dawned on me that there's a little volume knob. And so he's troubleshooting. He's calling like web server people and getting all these technical people awake. And there's like a conference call with people all over Michigan trying to figure out the problem. This is for several minutes. And I'm like, and then it dawns on me. I go, uh-oh. And I turn it up. And then, you're hearing a song. And he goes, was that you? I go, yeah, dude. I didn't have the volume up. I just had it was just the volume control. I just didn't turn it up. Everything was perfect. Nothing was on you. It was me. And it's okay. He didn't. That's what I love about JJ. He does not sound frustrated. The guy is just smooth. This dude, oh my God. I've worked with a lot of radio people, and he's rare. He's very, very rare. I can't say enough about these folks that I'm working with. We had a staff meeting yesterday. I told you about that. And okay, so you got all these different department heads, and we're meeting on Zoom, and some are in the room with the bosses, and oh my God. This is a small market radio station in name only because they're so organized. This is, in all my years, I've never seen that type of organization. When I was at GRD, Town Square, we never had meetings. We never had any, all right, this is what we're working on. This is what we need to do. Nothing like that. So, and I'm just like real quiet and meek because that's how I am in those settings. I try not to talk unless I really, really have to. And then they like came to me and they like, okay, Eric, because everybody has to say something. And I'm like, oh, shit, what the fuck am I going to say? And I'm feeling all this pressure on me. Oh, so I'm like, well, I just talked out of my ass for a little bit, and I hope that it went over. Oh, hang on, I got to drink this. Ryan says, big fraud, Zane, fraudulates again, fucking volume knob. This show just isn't the same without you smashing your fist through your equipment and breaking solder joints. Well, okay. Before Q100 reached out to me about this show, I had purchased a new Zenith because the last one was fucked up. That's why I had to put my fist through it every time to get it to work. I packed that fucker up and it's in the other room. I'm going to take it up north and use it as part of the up north studio. So it'll come back one day if I go up there and start doing the show up there. But, all right. Corey says Eric crashes the bus on day 2. It was a little crashy. I will admit to that. There was definitely a fender bender. The airbags didn't go off, but there was a fender bender. But outside of that, once that got smoothed over, I require probably 50% less help from JJ, who the first day, he's like, okay, push that button. Okay, push that button. Okay, talk now. I mean, he was holding my hand. Okay? And this is like, he's the daddy, and I'm the little girl riding the bike for the first time with no training wheels. He's running along, all bent over, hunched. On the back of this, hanging onto the back of the seat. You're trying to run with the kid all bent over. That's how this is. Which, by the way, somebody invented something that I never did use, but I should have. It like hooks onto the bike, and it's like a bar, so that you don't have to run all bent over like an asshole. God damn, I should have used that. All right. But I completely digress. It's going to get better and better. There was a couple of flashes of personality in there because honestly, when I'm, can't even figure out what the fuck I'm doing. I still have to do a show to some degree. When you're relying on the music, there's less heavy lifting. You don't have to talk long form. It's nothing like this, obviously, where you just talk. You're, minute or two here and there. But there was some actual things that I did, actual bits, if you will, based on things that I wanted to talk about. Electric cars was one of them, which I'll probably get into here, about how much of a pile of shit those things are and how the end is near for that entire, movement, I guess. So there was that. Did a couple other things. If you could download the Q100 app on the App Store, just look up Q100 Michigan. I even heard from Kenny, who said that it's so different when it comes to the actual songs that are being played that he was not compelled to shut it off. So the different songs that he's never heard kept him into it, which is saying something. Because, typically if it's not shit music, Kenny won't listen to it. The mix of the music is definitely interesting and keeps me listening, and I haven't listened to the radio for over a decade, he writes. Corey writes, plug-in hybrids seem like a better system. Electric for short trips and gas for longer ones. Absolutely. Now, my hybrid's not a plug-in hybrid. It doesn't need to be. I don't know what the difference... I don't know why they would have a hybrid that you can plug in, but I guess that kind of makes sense. Ours, that fucking thing, it's 50 miles to the gallon. It's just insane. Bulls on Parade 91 says radio stations here in West Tennessee suck ass. I've been listening to Q100 now. Some people say, hey, if you don't know the song, just keep it tuned. You'll hear one. That's not true. You might go a huge amount of time without hearing a song that you know. But my God, talk about expanding the palette. Really, really a cool radio station. They are onto something there. Thank you for listening to it and downloading the app. I've got some NFK updates for you. First of all, I wanted to strangle him yesterday. As you know, a good portion of my life is spent cleaning up after my beloved brother-in-law. Which, by the way, there was somebody tipped me off to, there was something on recently on the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. They do their pre-beer and hot wings, which is basically bits with me in them. And there was a segment that took a deep dive on Diana's brothers, the dearly departed David and Kevin. This is before Kevin lived here, years before. This is like 10, 15 years ago. And Kevin had a inguinal hernia. So, I'm kind of going to go back in time here because the segment was discussing something about Dave, the dearly departed Dave, revealed to his sister, my wife, that Kevin's ball sack was huge. Something was wrong with his balls. Now, in the segment that they played, I didn't have all the information as to what the problem was. I'll get to that in a second. But in the segment, I actually called him up on the air without him knowing we were on the air and was talking to him about his balls and tried to get him to take off his pants while we were talking to him on the air and take a picture of his balls and send it to me, which just sounds fucking insane. In that segment, because I was able to listen to about 2-3 minutes of it, and then I just couldn't take it anymore, and I had to shut it off. In the segment, we're like, well, it can't be a hernia, because a hernia doesn't do that, but no, it does. He had a inguinal hernia. The inguinal canal is an area on your pelvis. And if you have an inguinal hernia, your small intestine actually goes through that opening in your pelvis and is in your ball sack. And they have to make a little nick and stuff it up there and sew you up. The problem with him is a large portion of his small intestine was in his scrotum. Hand to God. And he doesn't go to the doctor. So it's getting worse. Like more small intestine is going through into his scrotum. Well, when I saw him, he's got a pair of jean shorts on. And you could see it through his pants. It looked like he had a cantaloupe stuffed in his pants. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's nothing. It's a hernia. And I go, Jesus, dude. So once that happened, basically, so what you're getting there is if he eats a club sandwich, it goes into his tummy, and then it goes into his small intestine, and then the sandwich goes into his ball sack and goes through his ball sack into his large intestine, and then he shits it out after it's gone through his ball sack. So I go, okay, buddy, we got to get this taken care of. Well, he does. He's repaired. But so much small intestine was in his scrotum for so long. Fast forward a number of years, and your old pal EZ has to bathe him. You remember when I had to bathe him? When he had that neck injury, that surgery? So I had to give him a bath. And like the first time he took off his pants and got in the shower, I've talked to you about this. His ball sack is got like as much skin as a fucking Shar-Pei puppy. I'm like, holy fucking shit. It looks like a goddamn deflated speed bag that fucking Rocky would hit. I'm like, holy shit. Look at your sack. Oh. Well, anyway, that's how that went. Megan says years? Yes, years. Well, years would pass from the surgery that he had to have his balls repaired to when he showed up here. But he had that, and I'll never forget it because I'm going to show you. He would so it would stick out like big. You know, if you can imagine if I had like a cantaloupe in my pants here. I'm standing up for you people listening to the audio podcast. But he would intentionally put his hands in his pockets and then go like this. He would like pull his pants out so that you couldn't see the ball sack, the scrotum full of small intestine. The goddamn things that have happened to that man because of it's just negligent on himself. I don't know how else to put it. His self-negligence. He'd be dead about 5 times if it wasn't for his sister. Because when he moved in here, Dinah said, hang on a second. When he moved in here, Diana was like, look, yeah, our house is your house. The only thing, since you're my last living relative, you have to get checked out medically. You know, Eric is gonna, and then she like hands them off to me. She goes, okay, here you go. Here's your fixer-upper. So we have done so much, Kevin and I, medically. I mean, seriously, because she put me in charge of that, and I kind of got obsessed with fixing him up. The repairing of the spine. We have the cirrhosis in control. He doesn't drink anymore at all. His liver doctor is so happy with him because she rarely sees people who are drunks who stop drinking and save their own lives. And if they, he has not had a drop to drink, even in a non-alcohol beer, nothing, since she said, okay, if you keep drinking, you'll be dead. It's coming. He has turned it around. So really, really impressed with him. Schlang 6666 says, man, you've experienced and shit. Give me some advice for young man, please. Maybe narrow that question down a little bit. Just, you know what? All you got to do? You got to just keep listening here. You look new. Maureen says his feet are now as soft as a baby's butt. That's not true anymore. They're back to being calloused. We have to go back and take them to the wood shop and do some foot grinding. They're back to looking like he held a hand grenade in between his feet and it blew up. His feet look like fish again. They need some serious work. But since I don't give him baths anymore, I don't do that. Hold on a second. I got to leave a message. If you could, ... take the phones off forward, period. I think someone just called me to get a request on, period. That's my man JJ over there. Kenny's here. Kenny, we talked about you. Kenny writes, good hearing Metallica and Iron Maiden this morning. Oh, yeah, I was thinking about you when I played it. And then, Kenny, you said that the music is different enough, and so it's such an unknown that it stays interesting to you. That is cool. That is really cool. So it isn't like you like it. The music, you may hear it. You might not like it, though, because it's not shitty like the shit you listen to. Like that Metallica song and that Iron Maiden song. I know a lot of people liked those songs, but they're shit. They're absolute garbage. But I'm not there to play my favorite songs and judge what everybody else wants to hear. My job is to play the music. Kyle said, I heard Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll, my favorite Led Zeppelin song. Oh, I love that song. It still rocks. It's 53 years old. Schlang6666 says, how many bitches you had during your life? Oh, boy, I don't know if I want to answer that. I can't really... this isn't that type of show. If your previous question is, you have any advice for a young person, I would suggest... Megan says, I think he's talking about your dogs, Eric. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, welcome. I hope you're talking about dogs. All right. So, what the hell was I going to talk about? Okay. So, the NFK, Diana made this amazing Sloppy Joe mix yesterday. And I guess the NFK wanted someone. He wanted to heat it up. And I know this because I opened up the goddamn microwave. And it was like he put a M80 into the bowl of Sloppy Joe mix that he was heating up to put on the bun. And I would say that 99% of the Sloppy Joe mix is caked to the inside walls of the microwave and on the glass. And you know how the inside of the microwave is white. It looked red. I couldn't even see white. There was so much Sloppy Joe mix on the inside of the microwave. And I'm like, now he's in bed at this point, but I want to wake him up and go, now, what's going on in that brain that you can do that and then stand there in front of the microwave for 1 minute and then open it up and then get the bowl with the Sloppy Joe mix out and not have any inkling that you might want to clean up the goddamn mess that's in there, and then in the future perhaps cover up the fucking container with the Sloppy Joe mix in it. So by the time I open it up later on in the evening, it's all dried on the inside walls of the damn microwave. And I'm like, God damn it. Clean that shit up. Texted Pooh Bear. I go, was it you or Ding Dong that did this? And she said, I think it was Ding Dong. Rebecca points out he cannot take care of himself, so how are you expecting him to take care of that? That's a good point. However, that is not exactly an accurate statement that you made. He chooses not to take care of himself. So he chooses not to. He can take care of himself. He can wipe his own ass, that has been a discussion before about ass wiping. Can you believe I've had to walk up and say, yeah, you're not wiping your ass properly. And I can't wipe your asshole. You're going to need to carefully wipe your asshole. Why am I having a discussion with you about your asshole? So no, he chooses not to. He's lazy. That's what you have here. It's not that he can't. He's goddamn lazy. So today, I set him up for it with, hey, buddy, wasn't that Sloppy Joe mix good? He was, oh, man, it was so good. I go, I loved it too. Hey, if you have it for lunch today and you heat it up, cover up the container that the Sloppy Joe mix is in. And if it spatters, wipe it up right after. Because I had to clean it up yesterday. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, that reaction he had, that's a reaction when you just learned something new. Oh, that's a aha moment, eureka moment. Except that we've had that conversation 5,000 times. Ugh. When it comes to the ass wiping, it got to a point where he was just taking a shit like a dog because he was lazy. So he would take a shit like a dog, and then there's plenty of shit in his ass. And then when he would get into his pajamas for bed, he would sit down with his bare ass on the bed. And every time he would sit, there'd be a new shit smear on the goddamn sheets. Hand to God. We've talked about this before. And so that's what tipped me off. And I go, what's going on here? What is all this? Oh, that's poo. I go, are you wiping your asshole with the bed before you go to bed? So I had this conversation with him. I go, you're not taking care of yourself when you're done going to the bathroom. And he looks at me like I'm crazy. I go, yeah, you're not wiping your ass, are you? You're actually not wiping. No. I go, okay. Not only do you have to wipe your ass, but we have these wipes there, these wet wipes. You have to use that and then dry it with dry paper and then wash your hands well. God damn. And now I think he has that down because he'll say, hey, can you get me some more of those wipes? So I think he's actually doing that. And I haven't seen shit anywhere in a few months. So I think we're getting somewhere, but he's gonna go back again. He's gonna go back. He's gonna turn to the dark side before you know it. Rebecca says, you are a saint. I couldn't do it. Oh, I know. Now it's like, and this is his final stop. He's not going to live anywhere else. The only way he would live somewhere else if I walked in and he was having sex with one of the dogs, then I would kick him out. You know, I can't have you injuring animals. That's about the only way he would have to be kicked out. Tofus says you're literally potty training him. Well, I'll tell you this. Every day he goes nighty-night and we tell each other we love each other. Good night, Kevin. I love you. Good night, Eric. I love you. I take care of him. I have to. Fucking crazy, though. Does he qualify for any kind of nurse to come into the home? No. Well, yes, but I would not do that. I would not subject anybody to that. There is no fucking way. I'll do it. It's easier. I actually qualify for some type of, there's some type of thing through the state, which I can't remember what it is, but if I fill out like a piece of some form, I can write down the hours I spend doing shit for him, and they actually pay you for it. Because what it does is, this person who has a long name, Becca Lecca High Love, says caregiver. Yeah, because the state would rather, they'll give you a few bucks for it rather than it comes out of the state coffers for Medicare to pay for it themselves. But I'm like, I don't even give a shit. Whatever. Becca Lecca High Love says totally can relate. Night shift nurse. I get it. Caregiver and you get paid. Many people out there do it and fleece the system. Oh, yeah. I just don't. I'm too lazy to fill out the fucking paperwork. I'm like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. And I don't do that much. I used to when he was recovering from that neck surgery. But honestly, all I do now is clean up piss and shit left over in the bathroom. And that, to me, I'd rather just. I mean, that takes me minutes. I'm not gonna mark that down and say, "Hey, government, you're paying me for cleaning up this shit." Okay, I don't give a shit. Where was I going with that? Okay, so there was that, and then the funniest damn thing happened. Tophus writes, "You're wiping an adult human's ass, and you're too lazy to fill out the paperwork." Well, I'm not technically wiping his ass. I have not ever done that. But if I had to, I could. I'll say this. I've been desensitized to actually giving care to a person, being that I had to take care of his feet and wash him and clean his asshole in the shower and stuff like that. Once you start doing that, you can do anything, So if I ever need to give that type of care, I'm qualified. I can do. I'm past the learning curve stage. So this happened. I don't know what went on, if there was a glitch in the matrix, but yesterday during the podcast, or after the podcast, and my day was winding down, he had questions about the radio show. He's very interested in how we're doing the radio show and stuff like that. And he asked me a question about how this is all happening. Because basically, I just told him, Dave came in and waved a magic engineering wand, and now I talk into a microphone, and they get it up north, and it goes on the air. And so he goes, he wants to ask me a question about that. And then he did something when he was asking the question, and I'm going to do it right now. And it was very quick. And this has not happened ever. This is the first. And my back is to him, and what I hear is this. So, you just talk into the microphone and you're on the radio. And I go, now I tried not to laugh. I go, oh, yeah, yep. It was awesome. And so, yeah, that's his new thing now. He'll go, he'll throw that into a sentence so goddamn fast you don't even notice it, because he did it. Even so, you just talk on the microphone. You're on the radio. And Diana's standing right there, and I answer him, and I look at her, and she's not reacting to it. And I'm like, and then he walks away. I go, did you fucking hear that? She goes, what? I go, you didn't hear him do that? No. I go, come here. So I walk in the other room, and I did for her. I go, he went right in the middle of the sentence and just kept talking. It was remarkable. She goes, no, I didn't hear that. I go, well, keep your ears open, because if that happens again, that's just incredible. Couldn't wait for this to happen right now to tell you about it. It was spectacular. Jesus. Tyler says it's a character from a Star Wars movie that does it when he talks. Patrick says it's Jar Jar. Jimmy's on an anti-presidential kick. He writes, has he been watching Joe Biden? He should run for president. You know, why you got to do that? We're having so much fun right here, right now. You know? Can't you just relax? Corey says, no, it's not Jar Jar. Corey knows it's the leader of the Gungans. Isn't I think Jar Jar is a Gungan, isn't he? I don't know what the fuck is going on. You should add that in when asking the Queen of the Forest if you can go to Chowtown. Hey, honey, I was hoping to go to Chowtown. Is that what you're suggesting? Gungan controversy. Kenny says nope. Corey says yes, Jar Jar is one of the Gungans. The leader of them goes, okay. Not sure. I'm a little confused. Corey says fucking dorks don't know your Star Wars shit. Chris says, I know it's frustrating and gross at times, but you've made his life so much better. Awesome work, Easy. Thank you. But to be fair, with all that's happened here, and me talking about it here, I think it's a balance, because I think actually me talking about it, some people actually don't like this. They don't like that I talk about it on this show. And I don't know, man. People talk about their family all the goddamn time. And it's not like I dislike them or hate them. I don't. I love them very much. But these are all actual things that happen. I didn't put on a pair of suit pants at the Men's Warehouse and then promptly shit in them and then hang them back up and hand them to the tailor. I didn't do that. But you're goddamn right. I'm going to tell that story. When I get that phone call seated right here from Gary, who says there's feces in the pants and the tailor just had to cut the feces with clothing shears in order to actually tailor the pants. Thread and needle is going through turd, smashed turd. Okay? So if I'm going to live through that type of Curb Your Enthusiasm type moment, you can do one of two things. You can either write a book about it or talk about it minutes after it happens on the podcast. Tophus is here. He doesn't know the story of Gary. I need more info about you, Tophus. Because here we are 5 years, 2 months, and 15 days into the podcast. And there's a lot of key, gigantic moments, milestone moments on this show that you were not privy to. The infamous Gary from the Men's Warehouse story is legendary. Over time, you'll be able to piece it together. There will probably be whole retellings of it over time, or we'll rerun a best of segment of it. It still goes down in history as top 5 most ridiculous things that I have ever discussed since I've been talking into a microphone, which now goes back to 1986, 85, 86. That long. Tophus, can you please shed a little bit of light on you? I think you're someone else. I don't know why, but I think you're someone who's been part of the show before. I just have that feeling. Maybe I'm wrong. Can you tell me who you are? Well, maybe not who you are exactly if you want to stay anonymous, but where you listen out of. That would be nice. And where you listen out of and how it is you happened upon this show. Or were you old radio person that just listened on the radio and then never really got around to listening to this? What do you like about it? Okay. from Albany. All right, you're not who I think you are then. What prompted you to get here? Because you've only been around for months. I'm always interested in everybody, and I like to know who's here so we can share that connection. All right. Plenty more to get to, but the folks on Facebook and X will not be part of it, unfortunately. Because I'm going to send you on your way, and I want you to sign up on Twitch to get the rest of the show. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app today. That's it. Once you download, there's still plenty more show to get to today. John says he's here from Facebook. Thank you, John. Once you do that, you then give yourself a username and you contribute on the chat. This is a great way that you can communicate with me during the show. So thank you for that. You can email me anytime on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Perhaps you want to say something without everybody seeing it. That's totally cool. I love hearing from people. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. That's what you do. Awesome. So for you folks on Facebook, X, and YouTube, time has come to send you on your way. Don't forget about me on Patreon. I just published a brand new episode of Who Are These Free Beers? I believe that was episode number 15 of that. It included the great butter-shaped debate. My God. If I can recommend anything, if you're a listener of me when I was on that show, and perhaps you listen to them still now, you may still like it, but you're like, something's off about it. I can't figure out what. Ben and I take our time in trying to explain to you what you're hearing when you hear the segments that they do now to fill time. It is simply a time filler show. They're not really doing anything, unfortunately. But we pick it apart like a couple of old program directors, if you will. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. You can sign up for free and pretty much get all of the episodes. You can go down a rabbit hole with the shows of Who Are These Free Beers on Patreon. So sign up and then cancel it right after, and you get the 7 days free on Patreon. patreon.com/Eric Zane. You can always re-sign up after if you like it. That's how I try to get you to try it out, is to try it out for 7 days free. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. X brought to you by Blue Frost IT. All right. The open and live stream of this show today, saying hello to Throat/Dale. Now is the time to book Dale for power washing the place. Superior Cleaning and Power Washing. Find Dale on Facebook. Just search Superior Cleaning and Power Washing. He's right there. Logo is a great big S. It's blue and white. 231-740-4098. The aforementioned Blue Frost IT, terrific IT specialists in West Michigan. BlueFrostIT.com. Call them at 616-200-8550. EZ's Vouch Store is open. Vouch.store/Eric Zane. Several products on sale there. On my Vouch Store, I've teamed up with several small businesses with some amazing products for you to check out. On my Vouch Store right now, you can check out the Nimble Accelerate percussion massage gun. You've got the Accelerate and the Express, which is the smaller version of the Accelerate. Percussion massage guns are life changers. Really, really fantastic. You can get some of the Camp Craft cocktails, which is basically a way to take your favorite booze, gin, whatever, rum, and infuse it with amazing fruits in jars. So for the rum bundle, you'll open up the jar, you fill it up full of rum, you let it steep for a couple of days in the fridge, and boom, you've got a tasty beverage ready to go as a fantastic rum mixer. Once it's all gone, fill up the jar a second time. So you can get 16 drinks out of each of those. So the pack of 3 is $75. If you want, you can get the single serving one too for the old fashioned or the sangria. Those are $25 a piece. Got the dog products on there, maybe the yak sticks, maybe the dog food, maybe the supplements. You got the Split Rock coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, try Split Rock coffee. Other various canine products, including shampoo and conditioner. We got the toothbrush. That is awesome. So the toothbrush, you can check that out as well. What happened to my Michigan and Michigan State gear? It was here. I don't know where it is now. Anyway, that's part of my Vouch store. The goal for March is to sell 3 products. I sold 2 last month. Vouch.store/Eric Zane. All right. Easy taking a break. And I will be back. The Eric Zane Show podcast is powered by the Eufy Video Smart Lock E330. This thing's amazing. These people sent me one, and I'm so happy. I love it so much. It's a lock. It's a 2K camera. It's a doorbell. 3-in-1, triple security. You know, a lot of the times when you buy something that's like a camera so you can see who's at your door, you're going to have to pay a monthly fee. That is not the case with the Eufy Video Smart Lock E330. And by the way, I want you to search EUFY Video Lock. That's EUFY Video Lock. Or visit eufyofficial.com/video lock to see how you can gain complete control of your door. The Eufy Video Lock is easy to install, set up with just a Phillips screwdriver, no drilling required. Thank goodness, because if I did that, there'd be holes all over the place. It'd be horrible. Keyless entry, no more fumbling for the keys when your hands are full. Never worry about the kids losing keys or passing among the renters. 1-second unlocking with, get this, AI self-learning chip embedded. The more you use it, the more accurate it will be. It's fingerprint recognition on this thing. You gotta try this out. Search Eufy Video Lock. That's EUFY Video Lock. Or go to eufyofficial.com/video lock. Full 3-in-1 triple security with Eufy. Cafe. Sorry about that. I got a phone call. All right. Rebecca says, I think he fell in. You know, I got a phone call. And it was like the boss of the radio station. I'm trying to go pee at the same time, but I was afraid that like the pee hitting the water she'd hear it and it'd be like really weird. So I kind of backed off of that. All right. Hey, I talked about this on the Patreon, and I'm gonna talk about it here too. I've got a link that you need to check out. Where did I put that link? I think if you go to my Facebook page, it's right at the top. The tournament challenge. So I want you to fill out a bracket. And then we can all like see how each other does. How we all do. I think it made sense when I said it. I'm going with Tennessee. Now, when I fill these out, I basically just start hitting buttons. I think the big thing that stands out is that Michigan State getting hot. So if you're in the state and you're a Spartan fan, maybe here or there, it doesn't matter. I've got them winning both games this coming weekend, but then losing to Alabama. My final 4, Iowa State, Arizona, Houston, and Tennessee. So 3 number 2s and a number 1. Tennessee beating Iowa State in the final. I figured out from Linda that when it says things like in the first round, Purdue is playing, it says here, MTST/Graham. I thought that was the school called MTST/Graham. But Linda indicated to me that what that means is these two are part of those fucking play-in games. You know, there's even more teams than they have before. They take the extra shitty teams and they play each other. Another way to make money. I don't know why they don't just, make this 2 weeks longer and have every team in America play. Because, I don't know how many programs there are. It's probably like 250 programs. And you've got like 70 teams or whatever it is that are in this goddamn tournament. So, whatever. Okay, so there you go. Tennessee should win the damn thing. And I think, according to my bracket, these are the teams we have. Some of these names I recognize. There's Tyler, Schloss, Ritter, I recognize that. Nuttin' Butt Picks. James from Granville. Hollywood's World of Sports is in on it. Here you go. This is the link to it. I'll post it so that y'all can get it right here in the live stream. And fill it out, even if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Okay? I think it's good. All right. Appreciate you. Let's have some fun with this. Should be a good time. Okay, I got an email about in the city of Flint, there was a catastrophe at the council meeting. So all the bigwigs get together and discuss city stuff. I guess that at the council meeting, the shit hit the fan, and everybody started freaking out. And I guess it was I described as a screaming match. And if there's a screaming match near microphones, I'm all about it. Linda says that her sister Maureen is the roving reporter in Flint. All right, let's check this out and see how it all unfolded.
Members of the Flint City Council to try to make their typically very lengthy meetings more efficient. That push failing in a very public way.
TV5's Raven Blue shows us how what started as an opportunity to pick up the pace instead turned into moments to pick fights.
Here we go again, another dumpster fire.
After failing to vote
another dumpster fire
on resolutions from previous meetings, the Flint City Council tried again, holding a special meeting Monday night. But like meetings before, it ended in shouting matches between council members and with members of the audience.
Boy, speaking of Gungan, weren't we just talking about the Gungans? Jar Jar Binks is like boss. I think she's right here. She's going to go. I mean, she like legit looks like the character we were just talking about. Like this guy's looking at his phone. This dude's wearing a mask. Jesus.
Mr. Jones, let's come in this morning. Mr. Jones, please exit the chambers. I'm leaving him alone, Chair. But I'm going to say something on my way out.
After 2 hours of several points of orders, calls for orders, several appeals, and 2 members of the audience being asked to leave, the council attempted to address resolutions.
According to council rules, you cannot attack. That's not an attack.
How do these people get anything done? This is horrible.
Freedom of speech. Ms. Burns are being brought to order. According to our council rules, that's fine.
God, I haven't seen so much blurt since the last time Hurricane Ashley was shit-faced on the Patreon.
Because I have freedom of speech. She's not okay.
Uh-oh, she's going to freedom of speech.
That's fine. That's fine. You need to check yourself, Madam.
Council members Tanya Burns and
This guy right here, he's got that disease that's turns him white. What's that called? Michael Jackson had it. This guy's oh my God, his eyelids are turning white. And his neck. It's incredible.
Dennis Pfeiffer were also asked to leave, and Councilmember Jerry Winfrey Carter left on her own. Then the remaining council began to move through the agenda. The council will meet again on Thursday to interview applicants for the first ward seat that was left vacant after the passing of Councilman Eric Mays. In Flint, Raven Blue, WNEM TV5.
What a disaster. My God. Phew. How does anything get done over there? Corey says she whipped out the check yourself. Does this individual bear it all like Hurricane Ashley as well? Uncle Christian says her nails are like talons. Does the individual bear all like Hurricane Ashley as well? No, that was embarrassing, and I didn't see it. I didn't even see it. And then she's like, did you think I sound like titties? And I'm like, no, I've seen them before. Whatever. Okay, I don't even care anymore. What the hell is wrong with you? Jesus. Yeah, that's got to stop. I'm going to encourage her to not drink anymore on the Patreon. I don't know what was more annoying, her showing her titties again or just blurting shit out. Yeah, just talk whenever you want. Feel free to just talk. You know, it's your show. It's not mine. It's yours. That woman needs to sell her chins to Jim Norton. Megan says, but it's okay if we're funny, right? No, it's not okay to just blurt ever. You can't just blurt shit out. Jimmy has it. He'll raise his hand and say, hey, can I add something to this? Absolutely. Absolutely. Ben says, great boobies. Don't tell her that. They're not. They're not. They're horrible. They're the worst boobies I've ever seen in my life. They're gross. I felt like puking when I saw those shit tits. You tell her that they're nice and she'll do it again. Huge embarrassment. Take your shit tits and go somewhere else. You shit tit slob. God damn it. All right. There's a new weight loss pill that we need to talk about that supposedly works twice as fast as Ozempic. What? And this one, you don't have to inject it. It's a pill. This is huge. Nowadays, people don't give a shit about the side effects. Okay? There are side effects to Ozempic, and there are side effects to this drug. But most Americans don't care because if it means they'd be more skinny, they're going to do it. And they don't care about the side effects or the fact that there's no studies that talk about long-term effects. The people that are taking Ozempic and this new weight loss drug that works twice as fast as Ozempic are the same people who wouldn't get the COVID shot to increase their chances of surviving COVID. They wouldn't do that because of the potential side effects and the potential long-term effects that are not known. Despite the fact that the CDC said it's the risk of you getting COVID and dying from it are far greater than you developing any problems from the medicine itself and risking your life in that regard. incredibly lower. And when you take this, you are increasing your chance dramatically that you will not be hospitalized. But no, I'm not going to take that one. But if it means I'm going to not be a disgusting fat ass, sign me up for this. Wait until you hear in the story the amount of money that is exchanging hands because of this industry. The company is called Novo Nordisk. Also, the company that makes Ozempic and Wegovy, which are effective in losing weight. The pill is called amycretin, works similarly to the popular weight loss injections, mimicking a natural hormone, GLP-1, which slows down the passage of food through the stomach, making people feel full for longer. However, this drug also stimulates a hormone called amylin, which also reduces hunger and slows stomach emptying. The combination of therapies seems to make it more effective. The medication was tested via a 3-month placebo-controlled trial. So some people got the medicine, some people got placebo pills. If you don't know what a placebo is, stop listening to the show right now. Here's what happened. The early trials showed that people lost 13% of their body weight over 3 months. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's just say you're a hypothetical audience member who weighs 350 pounds. 350 times 0.13. That means in 3 months, you'd lose 45 pounds on this medicine. Now, that is more than twice the amount seen with Ozempic and Wegovy, according to the company. Now, all these products are theirs. They made Wegovy. They made Ozempic. Now they're making the pill form of this, which is a better medicine. Those taking the placebo pills lost 1% of their body weight. Aside from the effectiveness, experts have noted that a pill option may also be more appealing than an injection for some patients. However, experts note that the short trials leave questions about the long-term effectiveness and safety of the drug. Nobody cares. Nobody cares when it comes to fat loss. They would rather roll the dice, or they would have that attitude if it were the COVID shot. But if you say to someone, all right, you have two choices here. You can either have a immunity to COVID or you lose weight. You can only pick one. They'll take the weight every time. Novo warned that amycretin may come with side effects such as nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, similar to those of Wegovy. The drug manufacturer is set to begin a phase 2 trial in the second half of the year, with results expected to be shared in early 2026. The promising announcement caused Novo Nordisk's stock to surge more than 8% to record highs, surpassing Tesla and Visa to become the 12th most valuable company. Novo and Eli Lilly, the manufacturers of Mounjaro and Zepbound, have become the leaders in the obesity drug market, forecast by analysts to be worth $100 billion with a B dollars by 2030. Wow. Less than 6 years, worth $100 billion. Wow. The drugs were initially created for people with type 2 diabetes, but have become widely used as a weight loss drug and risen in popularity so quickly that the FDA announced shortages as the medication flew off the shelves. While many have raved about the drug's effectiveness, the products have also been found to have a long list of unexpected side effects, including gastroparesis or stomach paralysis, a side effect which both Novo and Eli Lilly are being sued for. So while they're marketing it, they're being sued for a side effect called stomach paralysis. And people are still taking it. They don't give a shit. They're jabbing triple doses into them, putting it in their eyes. Dick dip. They don't care. It's incredible. Everybody's losing weight. My brother Jim is remarkably thinner. He's doing a doctor supervised thing, not taking any of those drugs. He looks like a different person. I'm so impressed with him. Rebecca says, my friend has gastroparesis and she cannot eat normally and is on Medicare and disability. Uncle Christian says 600-pound people will ignore the side effects. Yeah, they don't care. Ben, I don't know how he does it. Ben is the guy in the study where at the end of it, it'll say, note, one asshole gained weight on these drugs. It's Ben. Ben says, I've gained 10 pounds while on my shots for diabetes. So you're on one of those drugs, Ben? Is that what's happening? How the hell can that even be? Anyway, I just found that absolutely incredible. If I had the opportunity, I would absolutely take that medicine. Anything to make this easier. I as I've gotten older, I'm like, I don't know if I don't have the drive anymore to do the right thing, or if it's the lack of activity. Like I went for a walk yesterday, and it's fine. But I really, really miss running. I really do. And with all the decreased activity or calories that I'm burning because of the lack of running, I'm fat as shit now. And I like to eat because yesterday was a good day. I actually ate okay up to a point. And then it's like nighttime and I'm like ready to go to bed. I go, well, I'm hungry as fuck. I want to eat. And then I go ape shit. I like have a fucking feeding frenzy. Damn it. I'm hungry right now. I would absolutely take that medicine. Okay, moving on. Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. If you need health care, maybe you are self-employed, perhaps your boss does not offer insurance, you're a contractor, something like that, or you're in between jobs and you don't have health care, there is hope. I recommend you call upon Frank, and he will get you into a insurance policy through healthcare.gov. Very, very simple. All you need to do to bang on Frank's door is go to his website, buyinsurancehere.com, to get started. That's buyinsurancehere.com. He'll hold your hand through the entire process of filling out the application on healthcare.gov. It really doesn't take you a lot of time. He does all the heavy lifting, and he will help you along. Buyinsurancehere.com. Grand Rapids Gold, they play tonight. I'll see you there. Tonight is one of 3 games remaining for the Grand Rapids Gold. Come see your old pal EZ and watch some of the greatest athletes you'll ever see at Van Andel Arena for the Grand Rapids Gold basketball game. Get your tickets online at grandrapidsgold.com. Thank you to Tag Accounting. The Tax Hobbit is less than a month away, I should say, from putting these long, long days and weeks to bed. Still plenty of time, though, for you to call him and bang on his door to get your taxes done. If you're thinking, oh, God, I don't have anybody to do my taxes, or I just want to help Zane, so I'm going to call upon his sponsors. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope you call TAG today. Reach out to the Tax Hobbit, 616-301-9516. 616-301-9516 for Tag Accounting from anywhere in the U.S. He can help you out. Also anywhere in the U.S., the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. 231-332-6505. Making sure that you are all set with your mortgage. Getting started on a mortgage, maybe your first time you've ever done this. Maybe you've done it many times in the past. Reach out to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. That phone call is very simple and quick. 231-332-6505 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Okay, got to show you this story about this chick who is a TikToker, but gets the lion's share of her money from OnlyFans. 25 years old. You can imagine how she looks. Super cute. And hang on, I'm trying to pause this. Okay. Well, so she makes a ton of money doing that, and she has a boyfriend who was helping her with her business, I guess, of taking the nudie pictures. Side note, what is her name? Drea De Matteo, who was on The Sopranos, Adriana, Christopher's significant other. She's 52 years old, and she looks awesome. And she's on OnlyFans. I only know this because there was an article about it. But she was, she hasn't really had a lot of work since The Sopranos. And she was telling a story in an article about how she was drowning in debt and was about to lose her house. And someone said, just post some pictures on OnlyFans. Now, I don't think she's nude. I don't really know. I just saw like the ones where she's clothed and she's like, hot pics and her dressed in some extravagant type of revealing clothing. And she said in the article that she posted the pics and in 15 minutes she paid off her house. That's how the world went bonkers for her. And she was not about it at first. She was like, oh God, I don't. And so she had somebody help her with it with the outfits and take the pictures, and someone who had the technical expertise to post them. And they're well done. And in 15 minutes, her house was paid off because super famous, I guess. Well, at least was famous enough that happened. And now she's like, now I'm like cool with it. Again, I don't know if she's going full on porno pics or completely nude or anything like that, but people are all about it. I would say this, that I would never want any of my daughters to do that. And if they did that, I would feel very, very bad. I would not want that to happen. And if they did it, I would never want to know. I would never, and if it was revealed to me that they did, I think it would change my relationship with my kids. Knowing that they're doing that. Dads are not supposed to know that sort of thing about their daughters. And by the way, I was described as something by my daughters. They said they called me a dad daughter. And I go, what is this? What does that mean even? And They wouldn't tell me, so I don't know what it means, but I guess I'm a dad daughter. Or maybe I didn't ask what it is. And that's different than a son daughter or a son dad? A daughter dad, son dad? I don't know. Whatever. Well, anyway, so this chick, she posts the nudie pics, and she breaks up. Her boyfriend breaks up with her, and she was upset, and in order to get over it, Maureen says, do you mean a girl dad? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the term, a girl dad. What's a girl dad? What is a girl dad? Question mark. A girl dad is a father who is the dad of one or more girls. Girl dads are known for doing their daughter's hair and taking the extra seat at stuffed animal tea parties. I don't do either. I did those things. So I guess I'm a old girl dad. Anyway. So this girl, she told the world that in order to get over the boyfriend, she went on a vacation and had sex with 22 guys in 10 days. And some of them were like gangbangs, and like she's like, oh yeah, I went and got pounded by like 3 dudes. It was awesome. And so now the world is like letting her have it over that. This is her, let's see, what is her name? Talia Madison. Let's hear what Talia Madison has to say about her adventure. I can't hear it. Okay.
22 people in that. I left my boyfriend and I've been traveling for 10 days and I've slept with 22 people in that 10 days. My goal was 20 and I just hit 22 this morning. It's 1 p.m. now here in Paris and I need to check out because I'm going home. I really doubt I'm going to get another one on the board, either on the plane or like on my layover. So I think 22 is where we're going to cap it out. But how did I go?
I just got told that my rent is...
Okay, that's another video. The way she's talking about it like an athlete. And I'm curious if it was like what her approach was. I mean, because if you sleep with 22 guys in 10 days, it's, oh yeah, and I just got my last 2 today. I'm curious as to how it happened. Is it just like some guys fucking cleaning the pool and she's like, look, hey, I got a goal in mind. This is what I'm doing. I'm interested in that part of it. But the reason why this comes up is because, have you heard of the term slut shaming? I guess people are slut shaming her because of this. And there's
homemade butter.
Hang on. There's more to the story. Aussie sex worker. They call her a sex worker because she does the online stuff. Aussie sex worker slut shamed for sleeping with 22 men on holiday. So that's the thing. She went out with the sole intention of having sex, oh my God, with a lot of dudes, and she was very successful at it. There was a clip of the guy. There's some dude who's like holier than thou who was doing the slut shaming. Her candid admission quickly went viral after it was shared by a self-titled, quote-unquote, woke influencer who dishes controversial dating advice to men about how to treat women. Freddie MC, he has almost 1 million followers on Instagram and TikTok, was the one who shared his thoughts on Madison's video, outrageously claiming her antics made her a disgrace to her whole bloodline. What ensued was a cruel and disturbing avalanche of hate towards the 25-year-old woman from men who branded it evidence. Quote, we're dealing with the worst generation of women in history. Ms. Madison told news.com.au she's used to being criticized due to the nature of her work, but she said this onslaught felt like an attack on her for being a woman who is open about her sexuality. Quote, I try to block out most of the negativity, but on this scale, it's hard to ignore, she said. I think being called a disgrace is harsh. I don't want to call it anything. I don't want to be, I would never judge. The only person, I would be more likely to judge him, okay, than I would her. The guy for attacking her. Because she's in her lane. And he's not in his lane. So I would attack him for not being in his lane. And besides, he looks like a fucking asshole. So that's who I have the problem with, is the dude. And then there's the argument, if it was the guy who posted the video, him and his mates would be high-fiving each other and cheering about it. Well, I can't really agree with that. Maybe if it was a guy who had people that also think like him. But no, I wouldn't want to, I would be judgmental on that level if you want to get down to it of anybody, if you want to ask me. But no one's asking me. It's extremely sad that these kind of double standards are still here in 2024. It should be a single standard. I don't think that anybody should go and sleep with that many people at one time, guy or girl, if you ask me. But she's right. There isn't nearly as much criticism for a dude. It would be if a woman does that, it's looked at terribly. Men tended to be rewarded and praised for constant sexual activity, whereas females are stigmatized for these behaviors. I guess it depends on who you talk to. God, I want that video of that dude talking shit about her. And then there's this. Ms. Madison, the young entrepreneur who previously went viral. So that chick went viral when she discovered that her stepdad had subscribed to her OnlyFans. Oh my God. You see, that's too much. That's just horrible. Also revealed that her ex is aware of her escapades following their breakup and was fine with it. Yeah, whatever. Like he has a choice, you know? How about discovered her dad had subscribed to her online business? How gross is that? OnlyFans star claims mother blamed her for stepdad subscription. So the chick that we're just talking about. God damn, we live in a weird world. I mean, I don't have a problem with people earning money for that type of content, but we live in the golden age of this. Uncle Christians said, is the dad a resident of Florida? Tophus says it made her happy. Good for her. Tophus says even the time frame doesn't bother me. What would bother me as a father? Because that chick has a dad. I don't want to know about anything like that of an intimate nature about my daughter. Ever. In any world. If my daughter came home and said, yeah, Dad, you're going to see a story about me, about how I got railed 22 times in 10 days. Kenny said the dad. Thought you said the stepdad. I did say the stepdad. Now I'm talking about me. We're not having a conversation. Whatever. Who cares? Don't get bogged down with the details. Yeah, I think if that happened, if my daughter came home and told me that, I would probably hang myself. Fucking A. That is horrible. Okay. Don't forget about the Patreon bonus podcast that's coming up in a few short minutes. Also, call upon Joe Martinez at 616-516-8579 for your AC tune-up. Now is the time. I know it's cold, but I want you to think about it and get this done. Because the quicker you get it scheduled, the less chance you have that you will decide. If we get a hot day before you get it tuned and you turn that thing on, that could be a terrible move. Have it looked at before this happens. 616-516-8579 for A&E Heating and Cooling with the immortal Joe Martinez, who I think is here now. There he is, HVAC 71. How are you? Corey refers to the woman that we just talked about, 22 dudes in 10 days. He wrote, she is literally a cum dumpster at this point. Ryan writes, quote, Dad, you're going to hear a story about how great I give blowjobs, and then 30 dudes splash jizz all over me. I hope you're not mad at me or think differently of me. Becca Lecca High Love writes, my sister-in-law forgot to unhook her photo stream from the cloud 15 years ago when she gave her dad her tablet. When he was hospitalized, and bam, her personal photo stream populated the device. He said he couldn't turn it off fast enough. She was 40 and dating. Oh my God. That's rough. Thank you, Joe. Impact Power Sports online at impactpowersportsmi.com. We're talking ATVs, UTVs, e-bikes, side-by-sides, motorcycles, Yamaha golf carts, the best in the business at Impact Power Sports. Incredible group of people over there. They have a complete service department as well. To keep everything powered right, make sure you keep it on the trail or the golf path or whatever the hell. Impact Power Sports online at impactpowersports.com. Hire me on Cameo. As you know, cameo.com/Eric Zane. Great fun over there. They're just $20 and they are the best. And last but not least today, Green Medicine Shop. Boy, you guys are really, really diving in with both feet with my friends at Green Medicine Shop. So many of you are showing up to get their brand of cannabis grown right here in the great state of Michigan. Well, they all are. That's a law. But medicinal cannabis, cleaner, less yeast, less mold, and a smoother draw when you rip that thing. Okay? Medical cannabis is not taxable. There is no 10% excise tax on medical cannabis. The only drawback is that you have to go to Greenville to the Green Medicine Shop. But it's a wonderful place, especially if you go, like maybe you go on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, through the beautiful town of Greenville. Nice place there. And go see my friends, Matt and Shawnee, at Green Medicine Shop. When you buy, you have to have a med card. Some of you already do. That's cool. If you don't, it's real easy to get one. You just go to thegreenmedicineshop.com. At the top, fill out the form. And it's going to cost you $90. But when you do that, you get a $100 in-store credit, so you're good to go. Also, if you want to burn and you're not 21, in Michigan, you can't do that legally. Unless if you have a med card. So if you're 18 and you want to burn, you go to Green Medicine Shop. That's what you do. So you or anyone you know is 18 to 21 and you like to smoke tons of pot, you got to go to the Green Medicine Shop. All of you. I appreciate that. Where is my asshole of the day sign? I feel like Pat McAfee walking around. By the way, Bruce is completely on his back. I don't know if you saw that. Is that on the camera? Oh, you can just see the back side of him. Corey says, just tell the doctor your eyes hurt. No, there's no way to not get a medical card. All right. It's just an extra hoop to jump through. Your asshole of the day today. Who do we got? It's got to be the NFK for fucking up the goddamn microwave. Fucking slob. Bob says, can we get the text number for the radio station again? Absolutely. For your stone cold crazy. Got it written down here somewhere. Text number for the radio station is 231-237-4267. 231-237-4267. Here's your asshole of the day. Sorry about the timing on these shows. You know, I like to go 2 hours. I don't have the timing down yet the way it needs to be. But this is only day 2 of doing this show like this. Oh, my God. There's Sarah Rookruck Roosh. Thank you. Love you. Bird Buddy. We got to get the Bird Buddy hooked up so we can be Bird Buddy pals. That's my time. Talk to you on Patreon. Thanks, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.